What's up, party people? Well, as you all know, D23 just happened. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of news coming out from California. For those that don't know, D23 is the Disney-hosted and themed convention made for fans where they can see all the new news related to Disney, like, there's ride stuff happening at the various theme parks, as well as all kinds of movies and TV shows. And no, I'm not jealous that I wasn't one of the many lucky creators who was invited out and granted some VIP wonderful experience.
I'm in the creator lounge and there is so many creators. We even have Mickey here. Like, Disney is absolutely killing this D23. Let's go!
In fact, now it's starting to rain, okay? I'm fine. I'm fine right now in Baltimore. This is fine. My notes are getting wet. All the local California creators were there, all the really hardworking, talented ones as well, and a couple of grifters too. You can't have a Disney convention without a couple grifters. Oh man, the notes are really getting wet now. Regardless, the news coming out of it was a lot. Okay, it was just straight up overwhelming. It's so much stuff because they have like a parks panel, they have like a movie panel, they have this panel, they have that panel, all kinds of things on top of just a lot of convention stuff. And as a seasoned convention goer, okay, I've gone to way too many Comic Cons and nerd cons and spent countless hours in convention centers going to all the nerd stuff. I have got to find some cover right now. Oh, look at those ducks. Guys, look at the ducks. Oh no, I don't think the mic is waterproof. I am also not waterproof. So let's just kind of, there's like a jungle gym over here. I'm not gonna go there. Absolutely not. I'm not going to a kid jungle gym. That is weird. I'll just get, okay, we'll just kind of chill here for a second. I don't know if I like this music playing in the background. It's kind of weird. I could have picked a better day to do this, but I'm gonna let this rain kind of be the symbolic energy for how I feel. I brought this up before, but I think it bears repeating. I think there's way too much pressure in our modern society to be the first ones, especially when that comes to things in regards to pop culture or like the big box office tentpole mega film.
Freeman, 713. I am a sentinel.
Like all the big franchises, like Star Wars or Disney or Marvel, all of these things owned by Disney, right? In fact, I'm pretty sure like the top 10 highest grossing films of all time, I think 8 out of the 10 are all Disney, or it's, properties that are owned by Disney, a la Star Wars, Marvel, etc., etc., etc. So I think there's way too much pressure in our society to be the first ones. So I'm going to use my friends as an example in this case. So some of my friends need to be there opening night for a new film, even if it is a film that they are not particularly excited about, like a Fast and the Furious or a Marvel or whatever new flavor of the month it is. They have to be the first ones there on opening night, because if they aren't, then they feel like they are left out of the conversation. Because come Monday morning, they want to be around the water cooler discussing their theories about some stupid new film. Because in that stupid new film, they're definitely going to be setting up a stupid new sequel in some way. Or like the next superhero is, oh, who's that? It is kind of annoying because I'm usually the one that will wait like a month or two to go see the movie. Like, I don't really care that much about spoilers. But my friends are so worried about movie spoilers. to a point where they have to like stay off of Facebook because they're like, I'm gonna have the movies spoiled for me, but I want to go on Facebook, so I need to go see the movie before I get ruined on Facebook. I always joke that my friends have been basically 55 years old since they were maybe 25. And I am perfectly comfortable admitting that I am part of the problem in this situation, because I am making a video talking about D23, hyping it up, making people get super excited about it. Oh wow, that's a nice little garden that they're building. Look at this. Look at this. This used to be a big like volleyball kind of thing where they had a big thing of sand, but they turned it into like a little cool little place. Yes, I am cashing in on this craze. I don't care. I'm doing it for the clicks. I'm doing it for the views. At least I'm honest about it. And here's the reason why I wanted to make this. I feel like a lot of creators out there have been praising everything Disney's been doing at D23. They're so excited about it. They're this, they're that, that. There's a couple people out there, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of people out there that are offering their honest opinions. That's what I'm going to do here, especially when it comes to movies and comic books. Now, I am a huge comic book fan, specifically Marvel comic books. I have been collecting The Amazing Spider-Man every issue probably for the past 30 years. I have easily 500 plus Spider-Man comic books just in my collection alone, and I've also collected all kinds of other Marvel comics on and off throughout the years. Thor, Captain America, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Thunderbolts, Hulk, Iron Man, all kinds of stuff. And as a Spider-Man comic book fan, I have suffered tremendously throughout the years. A luxury a lot of movie Spider-Man fans haven't really gone through just yet. I'll just give you a little sprinkling of what I've had to endure over the past 30 years. I've seen them completely retcon and destroy Peter Parker's marriage with Mary Jane. Like in the comic books, Peter made a deal with Mephisto, kind of like the devil, to save his aunt, who was dead before, but then she came back and then she was about to die for real, like realsies this time. A certain writer, who will remain nameless, desecrated, literally pissed on the grave of Gwen Stacy because he had Norman Osborn. Let's just say there were children involved. I think like the kids like some type of serum where it like sped up their aging so they're like adults. At one point, Spider-Man had little hook stabber things that came out of his wrists, and there was this whole other thing involved, and then like he developed organic web shooters to match, at the time in the early 2000s, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because in the films he had organic web shooters, not the regular mechanical web shooters he made as a child. So they just wanted, Marvel was like, we gotta make it so it's all just kind of, the same, even though the movie-going fan at the time didn't read comic books, so they just changed the comic books just like a low blow to comic book fans. Not the biggest deal in the world, You could still shoot the webs and do all the regular Amazing Spider-Man stuff, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff. But it was a little thing that just was a big, little stab in the side there. Anyway, I have got to stop talking about this because I will get myself really worked up here, and I'm talking about really weird stuff whilst walking around. But that is what happens when you are a comic book fan. You sound like a crazy person when you try to describe what happened in the comic books. That was the thing I took pride in as a child. I loved reading comic books. I loved drawing comic books. I wanted to be a comic book artist at one point. But, I was bullied, teased, beat up in school all the time over it. They're like, oh, this freaking dork, And now, all of a sudden, those same jabroni bros those like frat bros are like, we love the Marvel films, man, like MCU. Whoa. You know, Tony Stark, he's so funny, dude. Yeah? Oh, yeah? Now it's okay. Now it's okay to like comic books. Sorry, they don't read the comic books because they can't read. They're idiot jock boys. They don't understand nuance and just words in general. So they just like the movies.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is everything, guys. Hong Kong Disneyland, the Avengers attraction. I'm sorry, Star Wars fans, but this is where I freak out. Ooh, Stark Flight Lab.
Speaking of movies, that brings me to my next point of conversation. The movie announcements at D23, the movie panel. Everyone's excited about the new X-Men film. They are like rebooting it for the second or like I guess kind of like third-ish times. You know, new cast, that's exciting. Look, there's a new cast. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. They like brought out the cast on stage to this panel like they were held hostage. Like Kevin Feige's over on the side just being like, smile for the cameras and the pictures and you'll be let free. He just nabs up these poor actors, signs them for like a 20-year contract, and just like, we control everything you do. They finally got Adam Driver. I know they've been wanting Adam Driver for a minute. Apparently, allegedly, according to the rumors that I've read online and the rumors that I'm starting right here, right now, they wanted Adam Driver to play all kinds of roles. They're getting him to play Mr. Sinister, convoluted character. Cool looking character, but very convoluted. There were some rumors going around for a hot second. Again, I don't know if I started them. I don't know who started them, but apparently Kaylee Spaney, great actress, loved her in Civil War, loved her in Priscilla. I haven't seen her in Beef season 2. Heard she's really good in that. Hot rumor was she was going to play Rogue for a second there, but then they cast Indy Navarrete as Rogue. Okay, so if they are going to cast Kaylee Spaney in something, I think they should cast her as Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat, one of my favorite X people of all time. Also, I think they want to do something weird with Magneto. They want to make him ages 30 to 35. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work. Was a Holocaust survivor, right? How's that going to work? Are they not going to have him do that? That's kind of crucial to the Magneto character arc. Yeah, see the siren, that's symbolic right there. The siren's like, that's not a good idea. Don't take out the Holocaust background. That's super important for Magneto. He saw what the Nazis were doing at the Holocaust. Like, they're going to do the humans are going to do the same thing to mutants. Very important. We have to include that in some way. Here's what you can do. Here's a great idea. Marvel, if you're out there listening, and I know you are, just make like Magneto, his age like slowed down or like semi-immortal, like Mystique. Apocalypse is immortal. Wolverine, pretty much immortal, you know. He's been around for like 100 plus years. He's real old with the whole aging thing. Mutants randomly have like that ability where they just like, hey, we just last a lot longer. You know, he's Magneto, right? Using the magnetic vibrations of the earth and just kind of like slows his aging down. Bing, bang, boom, we are done. Thank you. Send me a check in the mail. Marvel, I just saved Magneto for you in the MCU.
We give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is back. Back from the dead. They killed off Iron Man. They decided to recast him as Dr. Doom. One of my favorite comic book characters of all time. Arguably the best comic book villain of all time. I don't really like the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is playing such an iconic and vital character. They turned it into like a whole like, oh, he's like Robert Downey Jr., that's our friend, he's back as Dr. Doom. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, right? Dr. Doom doesn't like the Fantastic Four, and they beat his butt every, chance they get. But now they're gonna make it a weird thing. Like Dr. Doom doesn't like Captain America for some reason. He's obsessed with Captain America. Yeah, it's probably a leftover plot point from, because they're going to have Kang be the big baddie in these new Avengers films, but they had to, because Jonathan Majors, there's a whole thing with him, they had to like get rid of Kang. Kang is, not the most impressive villain. He's cool, but to go from Thanos to Kang, meh. But to go from Thanos to Doctor Doom, awesome. Okay, we get two of the best baddies back to back. And I'm not saying baddies as in like, oh, they're well, maybe they are a little bit, but like having Doctor Doom be mad at Steve Rogers is like having Lex Luthor be mad at like the Flash. Sure, yeah, he doesn't like the Flash, but he really hates Superman. So it's like Doctor Doom just hates Fantastic Four. Like that's number one on his like hate vision board. Reed Richards. Then the other three. He likes the daughter, though. He is the godfather of Val. Again, I could literally stay here all day and talk about comic books. This is also the former mayor of Baltimore City. All right, so real quick, Editor Kenny here. I want to point out one thing that I forgot to mention. So, in the movies, Steve Rogers decided to go back in time, toss some infinity gems to where they're supposed to go, or infinity stones. We call them infinity stones in the movies. I call them infinity gems, because that's how they are in the comics. Anyway, so Steve abandons his post and goes back in time, drops off all the gems, and decides, I'm just gonna live in the past. So I think that screwed up a bunch of things. That done farted up the timeline. Doctor Doom is done pissed off about that. And he's like, I gotta go fix this thing, because Steve done farted it up. Because I think that's what Kang was originally going to be mad at, but we don't need to talk about him anymore. So let me get this straight. Steve Rogers went back in time in the MCU and decided to live a normal, happy life. Good for him, but he didn't do anything about 9/11. Am I understanding that correctly? Steve Rogers decided not to do anything about 9/11 or like the JFK assassination or the Martin Luther King assassination. So Steve is just like, what, I'm living in the past and I already messed it up by living here. I'm not gonna help fix these things. Is that what I'm understanding? Maybe I'm starting to side with Dr. Doom a little bit more in this situation. If he doesn't like Steve Rogers, I think he's got some valid issues. Why? He doesn't like the man. He done farted it all up. But as you can imagine, there's all kinds of fan theories floating around online because the new trailer just came out during D23. Got a couple more glimpses at the good doctor, Dr. Doom, which I don't even know if is he technically a doctor? Does he really have a PhD? I thought he was kicked out of the college because he tried to do an experiment where he was trying to communicate with his deceased mother, and some stuff happened. He got a little scar on his face and he freaked out. He's like, I am no longer handsome and perfect. Give me a mask to put on here. So he takes the hot mask, which is just made, and they're like, you shouldn't put this on your face. It's not cool yet. And he's like, screw you. And he puts it on and he immediately regrets it, destroys his face, annihilates it. He went from having one little scar, but that was, a little scar like that. Dr. Doom is very vain. Still locked. He's very vain, and he's like, I'm not perfect anymore. He's like, screw this. Immediate regret. Jump into the snow. I gotta cool off my face. He has to have a PhD. That kind of makes him even better. If he's not an actual doctor, and he's just like, I'm Dr. Doom. That arrogance, I can't get enough of it. I cannot get enough of everything that Dr. Doom does. He's just such a jerk. He's a real freaking jerk, this guy. I have 2 posters in my basement, in my office area. 2 of them dedicated to Dr. Doom. One is a bit controversial. It's him he's pretty much beating everybody, and he's got Sue Storm in chains. That's not good. And then this other artist kind of had like this kind of almost like a neon looking kind of Dr. Doom. It looked awesome. Anyway, so people are theorizing. They're combing through every frame in this new trailer, looking at every little thing, and oh my God, what does this mean? He changed outfits in the middle of this fight? I'm like, well, okay, listen, Marvel is notorious for changing and updating trailers and altering things of how it will actually look in the end, going from trailer to movie.
Answer me, Victor! Did you do this?
Also, I don't think I'm supposed to go down this way. There seems to be one of these here. I mean, I could just step over this, but what does it say on the other side? Okay, well, whoops. That's a little whoopsie on me. And here's the thing that really gets my panties in a bunch, that really grinds my gears. All these little freaking bottom shelf jabronis, these two-faced bottom shelf jabronis, are all like online trying to get that engagement, being like, oh no, Dr. Doom, look at him, he's like aura farming. If I hear that stupid phrase anymore, aura farming, so irritating. If I hear that phrase one more time, I'm gonna flip a freaking table. And I hope that table has hot soup and it makes a freaking mess, or a dumb I had to bleep a lot of that. I apologize. My mouth as of late has been abhorrent. Absolutely. I'm embarrassed. I'm truly embarrassed of myself right now. I can't believe I'm just saying these things out loud in public. I'm just glad not a lot of people are around because of the rain kind of chased everybody away. And the other thing that a lot of people are theorizing is, well, is there another Doctor Doom? Could there be a good Doctor Doom, a quote-unquote gooder Doctor Doom, and an evil Doctor Doom? Because really, Doctor Doom is always out kind of for himself at the end of the day, even when he is good. If there is a good Doctor Doom, he will 100% screw over the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and all the good guys in the end. It'll look like, oh, I'm working with you guys, but he's going to 100% stab them in the back to gain ultimate control, and then he's going to start the Secret Wars, and then we're going to bring everybody back. Everybody. We get Toby, we get Andrew, we get Tom, we get Timmy, we get other Tom, we get Robbie, we get all kinds of Robbies, we get multiple Robbies. So people are like, well, is good Doctor Doom? It looked like maybe he was at the end of the Fantastic Four film getting his face all fixed up by Franklin, because Franklin's basically a god. Franklin is so powerful that at the end of time, Galactus is his herald. That's true, look it up. So, at D23, they had a couple of costumes for the new Avengers films. People were quick to point out, oh, what's this? There's another Doctor Doom costume? And then people were looking at the trailers, like the first trailer that came out for Doomsday. There seems to be a big noticeable gap. Like a person was taken out of the big wide shot with all the characters. So like, well, that's a bit strange. Who are they trying to cover up? Seems as though they're trying to protect some type of spoiler. So is it a good boy Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr.? Is whoever the evil Doctor Doom is that played by another actor? As fans online were looking at, there's like a shot of Doctor Doom's eyes and he's like squinting a little bit and they're like, that's a mole that on his eyeball. Could that be Robert Downey Jr. under there? Could it be somebody else? Could it be Cillian Murphy? It's not like it matters anyway, because you're going to freaking reset the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, do like a soft reboot after the second Avengers Doomsday Secret Wars, because it's too complicated, right? We got homework. There's apparently, you got to go see all these films to understand the new Doomsday. We got movie homework. I also just spilled some water on my shirt, so don't worry about that. And here's the thing that's going to really also grind my gears. All the stupid nerds were like, this movie's going to be so stupid. They were pissed at Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Doctor Doom. They were ready to revolt, but they're still going to be the first ones to go watch it. Because, like I said, so many of them need to see these films to be included in this conversation, to be included in the water cooler conversation. The Clay universe is a psyop. What do you guys think that means? I like psyops. So, in conclusion, I think we should start gatekeeping a little bit more. You heard it here first. I don't care if it sounds like I'm an arrogant know-it-all comic book fan, because I am one. All I'm saying is we got to get these bottom shelf, two-faced jock jabronis out of here. You know, their favorite movie is like, oh, it's like Moana and like Matthew McConaughey's Sahara and The Dark Knight and like Avengers Endgame, like the greatest film of all time. Hey, yo, why isn't it like Batman in the MCU? That's the type of people I'm talking about. Yes, I think it's more appropriate to start gatekeeping, because I think those jocks, those frat bros, they were so mean to me when I was a little kid. They wouldn't be caught dead reading a comic book, let alone seeing a comic book movie. Now all of a sudden it's cool. I hope the Avengers Doomsday movie is so terrible. I hope you suffer, just like the rest of us comic book fans have been suffering for decades. You get to feel my pain now. That's right, you get to feel my pain. Get bent. I think that's a cool saying. We should start bringing back get bent. Get bent. You frickin' two-faced bottom shelf jabronis.